Jen and Jamie on a Thursday.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of What's in the Lunchbox? So if you recall, last week we had pallets, right?
Pallets. Somebody's got pallets in their garage.
I love pallets. I mean, I don't use them for what they're actually for, but I love crafting with pallets.
Mm-hmm.
I either build them as a big one or I take them apart and I build things with the wood and the sign. But they're fun.
Yeah, and they're handy. I mean, they're always good to have around to store things on, so they're up.
And you know what? We also use old pallets, stuff that is no longer usable for things, to start fires.
That's where my mind went.
On dry wood.
That's exactly
starting
starting fires. Well,
okay, well,
cold in the church today.
Please explain. I'd love to know more.
When I see pallets, I mean, like, not so much this picture, but when I see like stacks of pallets, you know how some places of business, like, you know, they get their deliveries and then they just keep stacking them up either for the companies to take back or for them to just whatever with. It reminds me of homecoming. And so at homecoming, I
never went to homecoming, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
We would always have a big bonfire.
Oh, okay. I have seen pictures of this. So
yeah,
yes, okay.
And so like to do a giant bonfire after the like football game, they would have it on a different field. It would be literally a mountain of pallets because it's kind of perfect for a bonfire because you've got circulation. You can build it really high, and it's usually very dry and splintery. And so it would be stories high of pallets. I have no idea how they actually built it. That was above my pay grade in high school. But they would build these pallets,
almost like a tower,
really high, a very big tower, and
almost
stick
like
it in.
Tower.
That's where I was going.
I got you now. I'm following.
A tower, and they would then light it on fire. Everybody, this is so fun, you know, because it's high school and you look for cheap entertainment.
But as quickly as it went up and built, it quickly came tumbling
Probably
down.
took longer to build than what it did to come down.
Yeah.
And so then my mind went to
the Tower of... Okay, we have to take a survey because we just talked about this in the office like 10 seconds ago. Do you say Tower of Babel? Tower of Babel? We've heard both.
Yes. So my theory was it's Babel because then
the result of the Tower of Babel is babbling, right?
The languages were confused, and so people babbled. But that's an English language thing.
But then Pastor came in and was like, well, technically, if you want to talk about it, it starts like a sheep, so babble. I mean, you don't say babble, but that's how you have to think of it, like babble.
Yeah.
Babble.
The Tower of Babel.
Babble. Babble.
So there you go. Anyways, it's the Tower of Babel, Babel, Bobble.
Or babble.
is where we're going with our story. So
yeah. So obviously, if we look back in the Bible and read this story, it is the people thinking that they can build a tower that reaches up to God in heaven, right? So that they're going to be smarter than everybody else on earth. They're going to build this big tower.
This has always worked out well for people in Bible times.
It has. I mean, they've often not succeeded.
Yes.
At all, actually. They've never succeeded. So they build this big tower thinking that they're going to get to the heavens. What happens? God shows them that that's not possible and that's not what they're here for. And so it comes tumbling down, but not just comes tumbling down. He confuses all their languages. So hence the term Tower of Babel, because now they can't understand each other.
They can't understand each other, which means that they cannot conspire together.
No, they cannot communicate clearly with one another to put, another plan in place. So God confuses their languages. Everybody is speaking something different. Yeah. Nobody can understand what's going on. But just like the pallets got built and came tumbling down. So
it's wild to think of that at a time of the Tower of Babel that everybody spoke the same language.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until this point where God confused the languages that we have all the different languages that we have today, which then fast forward to the New Testament and Pentecost.
Yeah, when you have
everybody that the Spirit gives everybody the ability to speak in different languages so that God's message could be declared to everybody. It's almost like God had this planned out a little bit on how to make sure that his people continue to honor and glorify him, but then also so that his people would continue to hear the word.
be wild though. Can you imagine just being like, I mean, I am not fluent enough in another language to like suddenly bust into a language to talk to you, to confuse you right now.
I can be like, hola.
I mean, I can say mitting moped, like I came by moped.
You don't even own a moped.
I don't own a moped, but that's one of the German phrases we had to learn in German.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, I can sing Stille Nacht, Heilige Nacht, but to flat out no. But
no.
I think that would have been wild.
That would have been.
Or just to be like planted in another country that has a different language right now.
Well, and the fact that God like confused their languages, but obviously they could understand their own language. You know, like, I mean, some people are speaking languages they've never known before, but they're able to communicate with other people who have spoken
I was going to say,
this
is true, yeah.
It's God. It's kind of
Yeah,
crazy.
don't even try to
But that's where we went with
make sense of it or comprehend
Pallets
it.
in the Bible. A
Tower
tower
of
of Babel.
Bubble. All right, so that means it's time for...
What's in the lunchbox?
All right.
This be an easy one.
Garbage and recycling bins. I also have these in my garage. Some of the things that we have gotten, I have not had in my garage. This I have in my garage.
Garbage and recycling. So now it comes down to, do you think they had garbage and recycling?
They burned it in their bonfires.
They probably did not have recycling because they did not have such means as plastic and glass. Well, they would have had glass.
I was going to say, they probably didn't have quite as much trash. I don't know. This is a good question. I feel like everything they did was made with a purpose and made to reuse.
Yeah.
What would you have had that was trash?
Right, because you would have sewed things, so you would have sewed things together.
I mean, it's not like you're opening up your toilet paper with plastic and... I don't know.
Did they have toilet paper?
No, probably not. They leaves.
So, yeah, so like if you're not running to Walmart to pick up yarn with a wrapper on it.
Yeah.
Mind blown.
Yeah.
Well,
join us next week. We got to find out if there's trash in the
obviously
Bible.
we're not going to find the bins, but we'll have to investigate a little bit more. So, yeah, like Jamie said, join us next week to see if just how Bible and trash and recycling bins relate to one another. We'll see you then.
Jen and Jamie on a Thursday.